Leroy Fowler III.
Is this person also referred to as Leroy Fowler Jr.?
He has been by defense counsel on a couple of
I think we all need to try to be precise when we're referring to this particular witness, and maybe some common nomenclature. How about the third?
I can take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Do me a favor and stand on this pool.
Sir, if you face me and raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may be seated.
Good afternoon, sir. A nice loud voice. Could you introduce yourself to the jurors and spell your last name?
How you doing? My name is Leroy Fowler III. My last name is Fowler.
And just before we get into anything else, so you introduced yourself as the third. Who was
Yes,
the
sir.
second?
My father.
Okay, so he was generally known to your family as either Leroy Jr. or Big Leroy, is that right?
Yeah, Big
Okay,
Leroy.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And your grandfather was sort of Leroy Sr.?
Yes.
Was Leroy Sr. ever around in your lifetime? Or
Yes,
he
sir.
was? Okay. And so now, are you still, you know, are you little Leroy? Are you Leroy Jr.? Or are you like third? What do you go by now with the family usually?
Little Leroy still sticks,
Yeah.
so that's what I carry.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So just for purposes of when we're talking about, we won't obviously be talking about your grandfather today, but for purposes of talking about you and your dad, if there's any confusion about it, you know, probably not with you so much, but just refer to him as, you know, your dad or something. That'll alleviate any confusion with the names. All right?
Yes.
All right, great. So where do you live?
I live in Seabrook.
All right, so Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been living in Seabrook?
Maybe 6 years?
Okay. You own a house up there?
Yes.
Okay. Are you married?
Yes.
Any kids?
Yes, sir.
How many kids?
3.
What are their names?
Mia, Dexter, and Leo.
Okay. What do you do for work, sir?
I'm a glorified maintenance man.
Okay. And where do you do that?
I do it for New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Like the state or?
Yeah, both states.
Okay. What other kinds of work have you done over the years?
I learned a lot of construction with my father.
So how was your relationship with your father?
Fairly good.
Better at sometimes, worse at others?
Yeah, just like adults and parents.
Fair enough. Now, did you grow up with your dad? Was he around when you were growing up?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, so you lived with him as a kid as you were growing up?
On and off.
Okay. And who else lived with you as a kid when you were growing up?
My brother Michael at times.
Okay, and that's Michael Hawkins?
Yes, my stepbrother.
So your stepbrother?
Yep.
And did you live with his mother as well, Julie?
Yes.
Now, I want to draw your attention more to more recent times involving you and your father and a woman named Judy Church. Do you know Judy Church?
Yes.
Okay, you see her sitting here in the courtroom?
Yes.
Could you point her out, describe something to her?
She's right over there with glasses.
Okay. Just ask the record reflect identification, Your Honor. Thank you. Now, how did you meet Judy?
Met her at the bar.
Okay, and was your father involved with her at the time you met her?
No.
No. So you met her before your dad started seeing her?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember how long ago that was?
Before you initially seen her, or how long from today?
Yeah, well, what year it was? Whatever's easiest for you.
Jeez. Maybe 2012?
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Okay. And how long after you first met her at that time was it that your father started seeing her?
Maybe 2 years.
And was your dad still together with Julie when he started seeing?
Yes.
With Julie when he
Julie.
started seeing Judy.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember how long that overlap lasted for?
Maybe a few years, 1 or 2.
So it was kind of a common thing for your dad to have more than one
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yes.
After he started seeing Judy, and that relationship kept going on, how often would you see your dad and see Judy when they were dating initially?
Fairly often.
Okay. At some point, did you live, in fact, with both your dad and Judy? You lived in the same house?
Yes.
Okay. And where was that you were living when you were in the same house as Judy?
Was it 108 Central Ave?
Okay. And 108 Central Ave it's a house, but it's broken up into a couple of different units. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. So were you in a different unit from them, or were you in the same unit?
The beginning, yes. I was in a different unit.
Beginning, you were in a different unit?
Yeah, I was upstairs.
Okay. And they were living downstairs?
Yes.
All right. And at some point, did you actually live in the same unit as them?
Yes.
So you were spending at that. What was the time frame for that?
Maybe a year.
And do you remember about what year it was that you were there? How long ago?
No, not really, unfortunately.
And at the time that you were living either in the same house or in the same apartment as your dad and Judy, was he seeing anybody else romantically?
Sorry, what was it? Can you repeat that?
Yep. At the time that year that you spent living in the same house or the same apartment as Judy and your dad, was your dad dating anybody else?
Yes.
Who was that?
Barbara?
Barbara Randall?
Yes.
And did you have occasion to talk to Judy about her feelings about Barb?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did she? What did Judy say about Barbara?
Objection.
Overruled.
What did she?
Yeah. What kind of things did she say about Barbara and the fact that your dad was dating her?
She wasn't happy.
Did she have a nickname for Barbara?
Yes.
What was it?
Judge, could I have a continuing objection to this whole line of questions, please?
You may.
Excuse me, the cunt?
Okay. And was that something is that a term that she used regularly?
Yes.
Did she keep anything around the house that sort of a I'm not sure how to phrase it. Did she keep anything around the house to sort of represent Barbara?
Yes.
What did she keep around the house?
A voodoo doll.
And what did she do with the voodoo doll?
Various things like stick pins in it and, throw it around and stuff.
Yes, you may.
So I was going to hand you a photograph to ask you to recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you recognize that.
The voodoo doll.
Subject to our discussion at sidebar, with all rights preserved, it will be admitted as our next exhibit.
And that's putting it up there on the screen at the bottom. You can see where it says Barb. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, how often in the last year of your dad's life or so, 2022 we'll stick with, how often would you see him?
Towards the end of 2022,
Yeah.
he was doing some side jobs for me, so usually once a week.
Okay. So what kind of side job was he doing for you?
Working on a house.
The house that you owned or a house?
No, sir. It was my stepdaughter father's house.
Okay. And your dad had been in construction for a long time, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And so were you doing the work and you hired your dad? I know it's a little bit less formal than that, but you hired your dad as sort of someone to help you out doing that work?
It wasn't me per se, but if I found like odd jobs for him to do, like I would recommend him. Yeah.
Okay. Now at that time, in the last week of his life, second week of November, had you seen him at all during that time period?
Yes.
Okay. And when was the last time that you actually saw him?
Maybe a couple days before.
And was he having any problems? Was he dizzy? Was he falling down? Was he having any problems like that when you saw him on that?
No.
Okay. And do you remember where it was that you saw him?
I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it was my house.
Okay. And did he come by as part of the work that he was doing on your father-in-law's house, or?
Yes.
Now, in the day before he died, did you have a phone conversation with him that afternoon, about 1:30 in the afternoon on Thursday, November 10th?
It sounds familiar. Yes.
Okay. And did he ask you to do something for him?
Yes.
And what was it that he asked you to do?
He wanted me to drop off money. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Pick up some money that somebody owed him?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember where you were gonna get that money?
From the owner that he did the house with.
In that last couple of months of your dad's life, did he ever express any thoughts about suicide or anything like that? Did he ever mention that to you at all?
No.
Was anything you ever noticed about that in those last couple of months, last couple of weeks, that made you any concern or anything like that?
No.
So, what did you observe over that time you were spending time with your dad and Judy about their relationship? What was going on in their relationship at that point in time?
Normal. I mean, said he was traveling back to Florida.
Okay. And you say normal. What does that mean?
As normal as possible in the situation.
So bouncing back and forth between Judy and Barbara.
Yes.
Did you ever see what Judy would do to try to keep him from going to Barbara's house?
Yes.
And what did she used to do to try to keep him from going to Barbara's house?
Rules.
She would buy him things.
What kind of things?
Clothes, shoes, material things.
Okay. Did that include a truck?
Yes.
And did that seem to work?
Objection again.
It's sustained. I want to bear in mind that the question that was put to this witness is what things did he observe? He observed or just told you about buying things, but we haven't heard any testimony about anything that Ms. Church said. So you may be accept, if you wish, the testimony that he bought things, it's for you, that he bought things, it's for you to determine why. Because,
After she would buy him things, would he stay at the house longer? Would he stay with her longer?
Not always.
well, the answer is no. Was the answer no?
Yes, sir.
That may stand.
To the best of your knowledge, did your dad have COVID ever?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know how many times he had COVID?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained. Unless you can lay a foundation that it's not based on simply what his father told him.
Did he make complaints about his health in relation to having COVID?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did he make complaints about his health specifically regarding his sense of taste?
Yes.
And how many times did he make that complaint to you about his sense of taste?
A few times.
Okay, and what was the complaint that he made in that respect?
Objection, Judge.
I'll allow it.
My father was like sweets, He was liked cake and ice creams, and he couldn't taste them.
Judge, I don't think he's beyond the scope of the question.
The question was what was the complaint? And then he said something about sweets.
And that he couldn't taste it.
Was that something he said to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, that may stand.
You all right, sir? I know it's,
Yeah.
It's hard. Need a tissue?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
All right. Sir, I want to sort of change tacks a little bit. And this is when did you first hear that your dad was in the hospital in relation to this particular case?
Like when is in the time or
Yes.
the day?
Yeah, the day and time.
It was at nighttime. I want to say on his birthday, later on the night.
Okay, so November 11th, later on at night.
Yes.
Okay. And who was it that you heard from for the first time that your dad was in the hospital?
Judy.
After a conversation with Judy via text, did you make attempts to get some further information from other people?
Yes.
Who did you call?
The hospital.
Okay. Do you remember which hospital it was that you called?
It was Mount Auburn.
Mount Auburn in Cambridge?
Yes.
Okay. And you were able to speak to a doctor there, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And based on what the doctors told you, who else did you call after speaking to the doctors?
My auntie.
Okay. Anybody else?
I called the police.
And did you make arrangements with the hospital at that point in time to make sure that you were the healthcare proxy for your dad?
Objection.
What's the objection, Mr. Martinez?
Judge, it's a hearsay conversation with the doctor itself.
Well, if he's making a request or simply an arrangement to become hearsay, the healthcare proxy, there's no content of the conversation coming in. So I'll overrule it and I'll allow him to answer the question and see where that takes us.
It's a yes or no answer, Judge, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Now, the next day, November 12th, did you get a chance to see your dad that day?
No.
When was it that you got the chance to see your dad?
When he was on the ventilator?
And that was the next day on November 13th?
Yes.
And was that still at Mount Auburn, or had he been moved to Beth Israel by that point?
To Beth Israel?
Did he ever wake up, or was he ever able to communicate with you at all that last day at Beth Israel?
No.
He was on the ventilator the entire time?
Yes.
And was it you and some other family members that had to make a decision about keeping him?
Overruled. This is a decision about the ventilator?
Yeah.
You're asking about?
Yeah.
Overruled.
Did you and the other family members have to make a decision about keeping him on the ventilator?
I did, yes.
And what did you decide?
To pull the plug?
You took him off the ventilator, is that right?
Yeah.
And he died shortly thereafter, is that right?
Yes.
I don't have any.
Mr. Narkunis, I presume, unless you think you'll finish in 7 minutes, maybe we should
No,
just
I
break
don't
it.
think so.
Okay, so I think it probably makes sense to break that. Mr. Fowler, you may step down if you would.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll meet you back here for
No, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. We're not sitting tomorrow.